2 burnt villages, and a nation's silence. Why is India turning its back on the northeast? By Dr. T. Haukip on April the 23rd and 24th, 2025. 2 terrifying tragedies occurred in India. One in the northernmost region of Jammu and Kashmir, and the other in the distant, often neglected northeast. In J&K, terrorist attacks shook the region, drawing immediate condemnation, wall-to-wall media coverage, and swift government response. On the same dates, 2 Kuki tribal villages, Gampal and Haijang, were burned to ashes in Manipur's hill districts, with women and children forced to flee their homes into the forests without food, shelter, or protection. Yet, while the nation rallied for Kashmir, the northeast was met with silence. No statements from the Prime Minister, no emergency visits, no deployment of relief or security forces. The Indian media too, by and large, looked the other way. Why does a nation that prides itself on unity and equality treat one part of its territory as expendable? This article seeks to ask the hard questions and reflect the voice of those rendered invisible in India's national consciousness. A tale of 2 tragedies. On April the 23rd and 24th, 2 separate yet similarly devastating attacks occurred in India. In Jammu and Kashmir, a known hotbed of militancy, terrorists once again targeted security forces and civilians. The response was immediate. National media coverage ran 24/7. Politicians condemned the attacks with powerful rhetoric, and security forces launched combing operations within hours. But on the same day, far from the media glare, 2 Kuki villages, Gampal and Haijang, in Manipur, were reduced to ashes by heavily armed assailants. Eyewitnesses described masked militants speaking Manipuri, dressed in combat uniforms, torching homes and firing indiscriminately. Women, children, and the elderly were forced to flee into the jungle barefoot, leaving everything behind. Where was the outcry? Where was the government's response? Where was the nation's heart? Northeast India. Always at the margins. This is not the first time the Northeast has been ignored. Decades of insurgency, ethnic conflict, and state neglect have desensitized the rest of India to the suffering in this region. The burning of Gampal and Haijang is not just a tragic event, it is a symptom of a larger disease: India's systemic disregard for its northeastern citizens. In Kashmir, every bullet fired makes the headlines. Every loss is grieved, every attack is answered. But in the northeast, entire villages can be burned and entire communities displaced, and not even a tweet is issued by central authorities. Why this double standard? Is it because the victims in Manipur are tribal? Is it because they are from the hills, far from Delhi's gaze? Is the government's compassion defined by geography and vote bank? Nscn-Im, a shadow that still looms large. Adding to the tragedy is the fact that these attacks occurred in regions heavily influenced by the Nscn-Im, National Socialist Council of Nagaland, Isak Muiva, a group that claims to fight for Naga nationalism, but has often acted as a violent, coercive, and ethnically selective militia. Though Nscn-Im has publicly denied involvement in the Gampal and Haijang attacks, suspicion lingers. The public statement from the group denying responsibility has raised more questions than answers. If Nscn-Im is not involved, then who carried out such a coordinated and brutal attack in its stronghold? And more importantly, what has Nscn-Im done to find the culprits? Where is their outrage over the loss of innocent lives? If they claim innocence, they must assist in investigations, name the attackers, and help restore peace. Anything less is complicity. The government of India, too, must act decisively. Terror is terror, regardless of where it occurs or who perpetrates it. If groups like Nscn-Im are breaching the peace, then ceasefire agreements must be reviewed, and militant leadership must be held accountable under the law. Children without shelter and mothers without food. The aftermath of the village burnings is heart-wrenching. Dozens of Kuki children are now homeless, many separated from their families. Women who lost their homes now sleep under trees, struggling to keep their infants warm. Elders are left without medication, and not a single central relief package has arrived. The state of Manipur, already fractured by communal tensions, is ill-equipped to handle such targeted violence. It is the duty of the central government to step in, not only as a sovereign authority, but as a protector of its most vulnerable citizens. This is not just a humanitarian crisis. It is a national shame. A nation must not have dual faces. The Constitution of India guarantees equal rights and protection to every citizen. Yet, the stark contrast in national response to the April 23rd to 24th events shows a deep and dangerous inequality in how we value lives. Is a child in Gampal worth less than a child in Srinagar? Are Kuki women not deserving of the same protection as Kashmiri women? Should tribal villages in Manipur continue to suffer in silence while the nation turns its gaze elsewhere? India must choose. Either it is a nation of equal citizens, or it is not a nation at all. What steps need to be taken now? 1. Immediate national attention. The central government must issue a formal statement on the Manipur incidents, acknowledging the crisis and offering assurance of protection. 2. Investigation into the attacks. A neutral, high-level team should be dispatched to investigate the attacks on Gampal and Haijang, including potential involvement of militant outfits. 3. Relief and rehabilitation. Emergency relief must be rushed to the displaced, including tents, food, medical aid and trauma counselling. Equal media coverage. National media must stop ignoring the Northeast and start treating violence in the region with the same gravity as elsewhere. 5. Long-term policy shift. India must craft a new Northeast policy that prioritises tribal safety, development, and fair political representation. Conclusion: every Indian lives matters. The burning of Gampal and Haijang, and the nation's silence that followed, is not just a regional issue, it is a national moral failure. If India is to stand as a single sovereign nation, then it must respond to all violence with equal outrage, regardless of region, ethnicity, or political interest. Let it be known, the people of the Northeast are not lesser citizens. Their pain is not lesser pain. Their blood is not cheaper red. The country must stop turning its back on its eastern frontier. The villagers of Gampal and Haijang are crying for justice, not just from the state of Manipur, but from the Republic of India. The longer the silence persists, the louder the questions will become. And one day, the nation will have to answer. Thank you for watching this video. Please do share the video and also subscribe to our channel. Your support is crucial for the upcoming video.
Ê, cái xe lao hả? Cái nào cái chiều ta sẽ con nó. Cái chiều nào nữa hả? À thu đan thì xây tông à? Xây tông anh à? Xây tông à? Ai bảo cả sau thì vang này luôn ha. Pala house day in Chihin, room lai school kitchen la hiya. Khosung cái chai tê, gam par kho cái chai ta. Khô. 他拉到楼这个嘿搞东边，哎，你干咩？这不把路鸟给你。
Come here. Ban kap doang, phê là pasal hoi prai kap dah. Dunia lo re chu.
Kusung kita itu.
Di pa mai tha ba chu me, ka lo re chu. Thang tom yo re chu me. Ka tom chu me chi sang an.
Ampala house stay in Chihin, room lai school kitchen lah ya. Kusung kita itu, gampang ko kita itu. Ko. Kata lạ độ lỗ cho hè cả thôn bia. Ê, anh đi cà phê. Đó bộ quan luôn nhau này nhỉ.